directed by Damien Leone, the third in the Terrifier trilogy. It's a very interesting trilogy, a series of independent films that have been made over the past 5 or so years. I saw the first one about a year ago, year and a half ago. I saw the second one, loved the second one actually. The first one was very interesting. It's a very, very low budget film about this killing clown, serial killer clown named Art the Clown. Goes around and brutally murders his victims in a fashion that is, let's just say, very over the top. Just imagine like the most over the top, brutal, disgusting, mutilating, vile, demonic way to kill somebody, and it's yeah. Get to part 3, opens right where the second film left off. So you kind of have to have seen the second film if you're going to have a good perspective on where things stand and where they're going. I mean, it's some pretty radical stuff that we get into at the beginning of the third film with Art and his cohort. Veronica is her name. Veronica is this new possessed demonic woman from I believe from the second film, that she seems to sort of take front and center in this film, maybe even more so than Art. I mean, Art is doing his classic kills for sure. There's a comedic timing to Art the Clown and his scares. There's sort of a laugh factor, almost a Charlie Chaplin type thing with him, because he never speaks. He's always kind of working with gesture and with these like looks, and he's like laughing. You know, he's brutally killing these people, and somehow they're still alive after he's smashed them with a sledgehammer and axed their head and skinned them and peeled off their scalp, and they're still alive and screaming, and then he's like laughing at them. Really what you're here for in the kills. We have the opening scene. It's kind of a nice like kind of appetizer, that opening scene, right? If you think of Terrifier as like a 4-course meal, the opening scene is here's a little starter for you, right? We get to that scene, but we kind of do this weird time thing where it's like, well, 5 years prior. And then we kind of see how Art is resurrected in this whole possession thing with Veronica. Then we go to Sienna, who is recovering from what happened at the end of the first film, and Jonathan, her brother, and they're trying to put back their lives together. And she goes home, and she's kind of feeling like it's not quite over. She's having flashbacks with her dad, and the whole thing with the armor and the angel, and meanwhile Art's going around killing everybody. So he gets a Santa suit from some guys he killed. There's a great kill scene with some liquid nitrogen. He gets his Santa suit. He goes into a shopping mall. Perhaps one of the most just brutally, like just complete, like very, like he gives a little kid a present, and the kid opens the present, and then the kid blows up. We see body parts go everywhere. We say it's not funny. It's just, my God, like I'm just, what is going on at this point in the film? And it's, you know, you feel like, well, you haven't seen anything yet, right? We have a whole shower sequence it's fun. It's a fun kill. You know, I was thinking to myself, in this film, like, one of the reasons I like Terrifier 2 is it ran as sort of this fun giallo kind of film where it's a little more meandering. We got to get the heroine is getting to her kind of point where she's going to have to face off with Art at the end, and take him on or what have you. But he's doing these kills in the meantime. It's a little simpler, and it's a little bit more like some of the kills in the second film. I felt like were a little more creative. Like they're creative in this one for sure, and they're up in their game with that practical stuff. But there is a lot of just axing and sledgehammering and chainsawing. There's some interesting creative stuff with like he uses a box cutter at one point to cut someone's like scalp like this, and then split open their face, and then just pull their skin off of their head, where you just see a laughing, screaming skull slash cartilage and blood, and it's just a lot of blood. It's a lot of. I think at one point one of the characters makes a joke about there's a lot of blood, setting us up for like what we're about to see. A lot of blood. It's basically a 30-minute ending sequence finale where she takes on Art and Veronica, and it's just, man, it is a wild sequence. That final 30 minutes, I think, is some of the best sort of filmmaking that Leone has done in the series. It reminded me a lot of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, kind of with the crown of thorns being tied to the chair, just the heinous stuff that they're doing with the rats. There's a whole thing with rats going down this woman's throat. It's almost like, how far can we push this until it gets almost to a point where it's no longer has its effect, is kind of what I feel like is happening in these films. I think I want him to keep making these, because I think Leone's tapped into a type of filmmaking that was very popular in the 1970s with Romero and some of these trailblazers with the gore, Dario Argento, these Italian filmmakers, the Gallo filmmakers. I think Damien Leone is kind of in that sort of spirit of that, or even something like Return of the Living Dead, where it's ultra violent, it's kind of funny. Evil Dead is another one. It's kind of funny, it's just horrible, just awful. But at the same time, you are watching a movie where you have a hero and you have characters that are trying to somehow survive this madness. And I think the Art the Clown is a very compelling horror movie villain, like a Michael Myers or a Freddy Krueger, or he's sort of that for us in this era. And I appreciate that. As difficult it is to get through this movie, it is fun once you sort of, there's sort of an understanding to like, okay, this is what this is. All right. All right, this is a whole kill scene. All right, here we go. What's he gonna do now? So you're on kind of that ride, and if you buy into that and you're okay with it, I do think it's a lot of fun. I don't like it as much as the second movie, like as a whole. I think the Veronica character is a little annoying. I'm not quite sure how scary that is. I'm glad that little arc is over. I'm hoping that the fourth film kind of wraps the whole thing up, and that Art is really just they take it to an 11 for part 4. That's what I'm hoping. And then just you can keep making them after that. I'm sure they'll keep making them, but I think the series is sort of peaking right now. It's sort of hitting its zenith. You have the right combination. I think it was made for like $2 million. And it's made a ton of money. I think it was like beating Joker, Folie à Deux, a few weeks ago. But it's, yeah, I mean, There are parts in part two that I think are worse, but some of the sequences I think in this are just chef's kiss. Like that ending sequence is in the living room is just unbelievably great filmmaking for what this is. So I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 5. If he sticks the landing on part 4, I'll give him a 4 out of 5 for the whole thing. You know, part 1 all the way through 4. If you do this as trilogy, you know, the whole thing together, I give it a 3.5 out of 5 for now. This one I don't like as much as 2. 2 I really liked that one a lot. Check this out if you can handle extreme violence and gore and demented, twisted stuff on film. If you can't handle that, just watch the trailer or something, and that'll probably do it for you. But in the meantime, stay real and stay alive. Have a good day.